Obviously, as that community and those students have been shaken to their core, the school and the local police are urging vigilance, obviously, in the area. But this is the investigation. I mean, a very coordinated effort, John. It appears that they're doing so. I'm sure an expert would be telling us they're doing this in a line as to not miss a thing.
Well, the manhunt continues for the Brown University shooter, which claimed the lives of victims Ella Cook, who was the vice president of the Republican Club on campus, and Muhammad Aziz Umurzokov. Very sad. 9 others were wounded, and we're not getting a lot of details on what happened. Some people said that the shooter said Allahu Akbar, but some people are saying that's not true. The police immediately put out some white guy who they said did it. They apprehended him and then they let him go. And now they seem to have no leads. They have released some footage of who they think it is. Fat guy. And that's about all they have. In my opinion, if you just went through the student body and just looked for everyone who's fat and then just asked them, you know, did you say Allahu Akbar on Saturday night? Prove you didn't. I think they'd probably find them pretty fast. But the cops aren't as smart as me. So some people are saying he said Allahu Akbar. Do we have a motive, Attorney General Peter Naroja?
Yeah, there's no information that the investigative team has about motive. Zero. There's nothing about, even if taking at face value what 1 or 2 witnesses may have said about what something was said, okay, and there are many witnesses that say nothing was said. There's nothing about what we know was perhaps said that indicates any kind of motive that is related at all to ethnicity or political outlook or culture. There's nothing at all that we know right now about that. And I think that is a dangerous road to go down, particularly in today's environment.
Okay, so that didn't help at all. Oscar Perez, he's the police chief. Did you get any information about someone saying Allahu Akbar or something like that? Because, you know, Muslims do say that before they kill a bunch of people. So.
Esta tragedia. Entonces, tenemos estos videos que mostramos es por esa razón. La investigación nos está llevando en ese progreso a determinar que esta es la persona.
Oh, Oscar, no speak Spanish. Perfecto. Can you speak English? I thought we were in Providence, Rhode Island, where I'm assuming everyone is 99% white. Can you speak English? Because I don't think anyone's speaking Spanish. All right.
Now, there's a report the shooter yelled something right before his shot came in. Could you tell us what that was?
Yeah, it's part of the investigation, John, and we'll. Yeah.
Whoa! What? It's part of the investigation. That's all we get. We don't get to know. It's some big secret on campus about what he yelled. Can somebody ask him again? Because this doesn't make any sense. I feel like we're witnessing a cover-up.
No, that's correct. And listen, like I said earlier, investigations will bring us to evidence that we need to collect in order to be able to prosecute. With that being said, we're going to continue to collect evidence, and if it leads us to something to that nature that's going to be extremely helpful for us to identify somebody, we'll be the first ones to put it out.
Whoa. What in the DEI candidate did he just say? The investigation will lead us to some evidence? Man, we just want to know if he said Allahu Akbar. This isn't very hard. Is he a Muslim guy, or should we be looking for a crazy white guy with blue hair, you know, crazy leftist?
How valuable have witness statements been from those who survived?
Listen, my heart goes out to the victims. It goes out to the families, and I'll tell you that their cooperation has been extremely helpful.
Wait. How has it been helpful? We don't have any leads. You arrested the wrong person. You can't tell us anything the shooter said. And you're thanking the people in the classroom for being helpful. Nobody's being helped. We don't know anything, Oscar Perez.
With that being said, we'll continue, and I'm going to respect the fact that, and I hope that they get better, and my heart and soul goes out to them. So,
did he yell them?
So that's something that we're investigating. We took statements, and we have to confirm that.
Well, there you go, guys. Oscar Perez's heart and soul goes out to the victims. He doesn't have a clue about who did it, but I'm sure he'll figure it out. I mean, it's not like he's some sort of DEI hire from Colombia, of all places. What about the mayor? I'm sure the mayor of Providence is a very competent person.
Everyone you see behind us We've all been working for now 49 hours. We're tired.
Oh, okay, so the mayor is tired, the police force is tired, the attorney general is tired, everyone is tired. I'm sure that the sign language people are tired. They've been moving a lot.
There is no footage. I'll try to say it again. There is no footage that depicts this individual that would be useful in identifying him that we have not released to you. And I think you can tell from, frankly, the not very helpful quality of the initial footage that our standard is pretty low. If we thought it was at all helpful, we would have and will release it.
Well, your standards are obviously very low. You have a super gay mayor, a police chief that barely speaks English, and a sign language person that looks like they're possessed by a demon or something like that. Can we get another sign language person? Maybe someone who looks like Fat Joe?
We want to see the individual that pulled the trigger on these young kids identified, apprehended, and brought to justice. I can tell you from the state level, we're continuing to coordinate.
You know, my sign language is a little rusty, and it looks like they're totally up there just trolling us with their movements. Can we get somebody else who can explain this for us better?
Continue to try to reassure the public that they are safe, but you also just said that this person you believe is armed and dangerous. So how can both be true?
Well, yeah, right, and that's something that's unknown.
There you go. Donald Trump does speak another language, sign language. It looks about as believable as the first two there. Can somebody there ask them about all the cameras that are on campus? I mean, surely they have facial recognition technology. This should be the easiest case ever.
You're lying to the press over here. They have facial recognition. We know that because they follow the student, they follow everybody in the neighborhood. Facial recognition. They need to release that data. So everybody know who the guy is in video. We got the video Saturday. Why you guys release the video today?
Governor, this is the question. Listen,
Colonel, I have just a question.
John, please, just for a second. A couple things. First of all, Brown University and Brown Public Safety, Brown Police Department has been a close collaborator throughout this process.
That's not true.
I do not accept that criticism.
Oh, come on.
Give it up for Tony Montana from Scarface asking the tough questions. What's going on with the facial recognition technology? You should know who this person is already. Did he say something about the Allahu Akbar? Why don't you know anything?
I do not accept that criticism.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. Well, guys, if it makes you feel any better, the nephew of the police chief, Oscar Perez's nephew, was sentenced to 22 and a half years in federal prison for running one of the largest fentanyl rings in the region. His uncle, Sergeant Andres Perez, the whole family's in on this, was a knowing or unwitting participant, according to the investigation. And somehow this guy becomes the police chief. He couldn't even figure out that his own nephew was running the largest fentanyl ring. And Democrats are like, yes, but you're Latino. Can you be our DEI police chief and solve this tough case? I think we need to bring in the feds. Kash Patel, can you bring in the feds and show us how this investigation should go? I know you guys know what to do. Okay, haha, very funny. That's obviously AI. Let's show the FBI doing real police work, guys. Come on. I mean, we have someone to catch over here. We have a killer on the loose. The mayor is super gay. The police chief is running a fentanyl operation with his nephew. We have interpreters that are making up sign language. Can we get a serious person? Come on, FBI. Show us how it's done.
See them, that they're kicking the snow out of the way, methodically looking step by step, looking to see if there's anything in the snow at all that can help point them in the right direction in this investigation. And if you look over across the street, Seth, for those of us just show, let me see it right over here. There's that team as well. They're doing the exact same thing across the street.
Well, rest assured, the feds are hot on this case. Nobody is better at kicking around snow than the FBI, and I bet if they kick around enough snow, they might find a video or an ID of the shooter. Who knows, right? I mean, they found one of the passports of one of the 9/11 bombers, so I'm sure they can find something on the shooter if they kick around enough snow. Surely this is costing the taxpayers billions of dollars per hour to kick around snow, but no one's better than them. Let's get back to what's going on with the camera situation, because I feel like if we just got a good image of the guy, we could be done with this.
Just
please.
in terms of cameras inside and outside the engineering building, are those working at all? And if so, why not release some of those videos?
So the video that we showed you came from inside the building, and that's all we had at the moment. That's all we have at this moment.
Oh, good. They have video evidence from inside the building. This should be a much easier case. Awesome to hear this.
So the video that we showed you came from inside the building, and that's all we had at the moment. That's all we have at this moment. Correct.
Inside the engineering building, though?
I'm sorry?
It's from the outside of the building.
From the
I'm sorry.
outside, so do you have video from
Yes.
inside the engineering building?
Both inside and outside. I'm sorry, just outside. That's all we have, not inside. No, I'm sorry, just outside.
What is going on over there? First, he says, we have footage from inside the building. The mayor says, no, outside the building. He says, okay, yeah, we have footage from inside and outside the building. Then he goes, no, actually, it's just outside the building. It's like, what is going on over there? And why do we have a police chief from Colombia who doesn't even know how to freaking tell you what's going on? Literally had to correct himself twice in the span of 2 seconds. And he has a nephew who's running a fentanyl ring, and he's the best we got? This is never going to get solved, guys.
Are they released anytime soon unless from inside the building?
That was released already. That was the outside of the building. We released that.
Okay, Oscar Perez, no offense. You make no sense. You seem completely incompetent and probably corrupt. Can we get like a white man or at least somebody without an accent to explain what's going on? Because I'm losing my patience here.
Let me just jump here and clarify. Okay, so there is for those of you who've been with us before, and I understand not all of you have been, there is video inside the building. There are cameras inside the building. What we have released to you are videos of this person of interest. So I want to be clear, because later on there may be other videos that get released in the course of a prosecution, likely will be at some point. They show things like chaos after the shooting. What they don't show is this person of interest.
Okay, so that makes sense. You have video of chaos after the shooting, but you don't have video of him entering the classroom or exiting the classroom. This doesn't make any sense. Pure incompetence, pure Democrats running everything. This is what happens. This is why you should never vote for Democrats. They're not only evil, they're also very, very stupid and incompetent.
Let me try to explain that. So, as President Paxson knows, there was a major addition put on that building within the last 5 years or so. That is a modern building attached to a much older one in the back. So it doesn't come as a surprise to me, at least, that there are cameras in the newer part of the building. And there is video footage, okay? So there's the back part of the building, old part, and front part, new part. The shooting occurs in the old part, towards the back, out towards Hope Street. In that older part of the building, there are fewer, if any, cameras in that location. I imagine because it's an older building. So as students are fleeing the area of the shooting into the new part of the building, there are cameras in that brand new building that show that chaos. But the only
Look at this incompetent idiot as he looks up to the sky trying to make up something that makes sense. Well, that was an old building, and the old buildings can't have CCTV because they're old, and the new ones can, and so we can't get 4K video anywhere. We can only give you like the worst type of resolution possible because we're an $8 billion university. And yeah, does this make any sense to you? So the new building has cameras, but we don't really want to show you that because it's just a crowd running out of a building. But the old building doesn't because it's old. Who's buying this? Who is electing this? These are the most incompetent people imaginable. They couldn't run a 7-Eleven. And yet they are running the government. Democrats will vote for them because they have a D after their name, or because they're a DEI candidate, or because they're Latino and they have a drug smuggling ring. This is not even about politics. It's about competence at this point, and Democrats have none of it.
the only video of the presumed, anticipated, suspected, however you want to define it, person of interest, you have it. We would release it if we thought it would be helpful in identifying this subject, because we are relying on the press and public to help get us there. There would be no reason for us to hold it back. We're looking for the best image we can.
So there you have it. An Ivy League university cannot afford a camera system that makes you able to see anything going on in any of the classrooms. You can't get 4K, you can't get 2K, you can't get 1080p, 720p, 480p. This is 360p. Even YouTube wouldn't allow you to upload these videos and say this resolution sucks, no one can see this. What are you doing? So we've got the most incompetent people. Let's see their amazing evidence. It's a fat guy, and I just think this is the easiest case ever. Pull up the records of every student, look and see if they're fat. If they are fat, have them walk around and see if it matches this guy. It's that simple. I could solve this case literally by the end of the day. But we have the idiots over in Providence, Rhode Island, and the incompetent FBI kicking around snow. So that's what you're going to get.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a lot to add other than that from my perspective. I think the investigation in a case like this, which is a challenging one, is going really well.
Well, right there, Peter Naronha, the Attorney General, says the case is going really well. We have a blurry, grainy image of a fat guy walking around. We don't even know if he's the one that did it. We arrested the wrong guy accidentally, told everyone what his name was. Turned out it wasn't him. The internet found some suspect who matched the body type, a Palestinian activist. They're saying, oh, no, it's not him. Don't say his name, though. Allahu Akbar! So I don't know what to think. I don't think we're going to find out. It's very interesting that Ella Cook is one of the victims. The Republican, outspoken Republican on campus who was vice president of one of the clubs. She was targeted. No one's interested in why she was targeted. Democrats aren't curious at all. And then you have the other guy who has a Muslim-sounding name, another victim, and no one's really asking about him. So it looks like we're looking at a massive cover-up, massive amounts of incompetence. Now, they also have a second person who's on their list. You can't see a thing. I mean, this looks like He-Man or Skeletor. I have no idea who this is. Some are saying it looks like Letitia James. Kind of looks like Barack Obama. But I don't know if we're going to find anything here.
And what you're seeing is just a portion of what they're working on right now. So they are literally, because I have seen at least part of it, the shift changes late at night. I think Rhode Islanders should take confidence in their work. They are veterans of what they do. They're smart, they're professional, and they're getting the resources from the mayor and the governor that they need, the state police as well, to get this job done, and I'm confident they're going to be able to do that. We just need a little bit of patience, as hard as it is to say that in this really horrible context. Thank you.
Thank you, General. Governor Dan McKee for an update.
Well, it looks like we're going to solve this case in no time. You have Oscar Perez behind him, who looks like he's 3 feet tall. I mean, I don't know how this guy's a police officer. I don't know what's going on in this case. All I know is that every single person involved is incompetent. I would do a much better job than them. Pretty much anybody on the internet would do a much better job than them. And you should have absolutely no faith in your government or your law enforcement. These people are just looking for a payday. They're going to pat themselves on the back and say they're working really hard and they're going to deliver absolutely nothing. This is the height of incompetence. But that's what it is. This is the world we live in. Please let me know if you have any tips on who did it. Tell the FBI if you want, but I could probably solve the case better than them. Let us know what you think in the comments about what is going on. But don't say that Muslim name that might have been involved, because you might be doxing someone and that'd be really bad. Hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one.
And I would leave it to us to identify persons of interest and let us run them down. What the public can do for us today is help us figure out who this guy is.